So recently I was playing Metroid Dread, which you're seeing right now, the boss rush mode, because I was thinking about bosses in the Metroid series and how, obviously it's a staple of the series. There's always every single entry unique bosses, and I do not want that to change in Metroid Prime 4. But I know a few years back when I would think about Prime 4, I would always think like, yeah, I want everything to be new and da da da. And even when I thought about, oh yeah, the next, Metroid mainline game that pushes the story forward after Fusion, which is Dread right here, I was like, I really want that game to be nothing but, new. Everything new, nothing old in it. I don't want them to do Phantom like they did in other M or none of that. Like, I just wanted to be all new stuff, right? No, really, no, nothing, because we just did the baby, literally the baby Ridley and all that. I was like, you know what? We need a break. And it's been almost 20 years since the last Metroid Prime game. Ridley is a staple of Metroid Prime. So you've seen the thumbnail. You see the graphic right there on the side. And I gotta say, Ridley better be in Prime 4. Not even needs to be. Better be in Prime 4. And the reason why I say that is because we waited so many years. I don't want to wait years to get my next Ridley fight. And I know some of y'all will be like, oh yeah, but storyline wise, and I ain't worried about that. This is all cartoon, made up nonsense at the end of the day, right? You can, listen, if we can fight Bowser a million times, Ganondorf a million times, I think it's okay if we fight Ridley, a few million times too. Like, I mean, we've already done that, but still, because I just feel like what creativity could they do? They've done so many creative fights with Ridley in the Prime series that I'm just like, with this new tech, with everything that's come now before, like, I could see the Ridley fight being something special. And I love the original fight at the end of Prime 1, but also the, Gandalf versus the Balrog falling down in Prime 3. I love that fight. There's a lot of good fights with Ridley, but even the one where you're the mothball and he's like trying to attack you and he's grabbing onto the mothball sections in Prime 3 and you have to like, put little mothball bombs on his feet in order to make him move and get through. I liked all those interactions. So seeing something like that, why not? Why not have Silex, do something? Listen, we have had meta Ridleys and all that, so they could be all kinds of Ridleys. And not only that, if this game does, like a lot of us theorize, have some kind of time situation going on. I mean, the name of the game is Metroid Prime. If you play Metroid Prime, you know Metroid Prime is dead. We literally destroyed all the phase that we knew of and all of that. So the only way I could see the Prime in Metroid Prime coming back is if Silex took the blueprints and was like, yeah, I'm going to recreate those things, and destroy the Federation with that. Which, I mean, yeah, that's cool. But I don't know, like, listen, the point is I want Ridley, man. That's the point. I want Ridley. Like, I get you can make a million different scenarios and justify it in different ways. Like, oh yeah, this is a new Ridley, and give it like a real solid, justifiable answer versus, oh, Ridley just showed up and he's back, But if that happened, honestly, at this point, again, it's been almost 20 years since the last Metroid Prime game. So yeah, I would be perfectly fine with really just showing up, man, and us getting new cool fights. Because looking at these Dread fights and playing through them, it's just like, don't get it twisted. Dread is super stylish and everything, but also Prime 4 was super stylish. I would say before Metroid Dread and stuff like that, they had Samus doing some of the most coolest epic things, and obviously this took it up, obviously, a whole new notch. But yeah, I fully expect Metroid Prime 4 to outdo this. And I know some people be like, yo, that's crazy to say, but is it though? Because Prime has always been the one. I would say Prime has been the most mover and shaker of the Metroid IP, the Prime games now, to the point where, the 2D games have taken from the Prime games, which is awesome to see. But I genuinely, would love to see something like this with Ridley. Like, yeah, look, we didn't have a lot of callbacks in Dread, but it was nice to see Kraid and have that nice Kraid fight. And it was very tried and true Kraid, but they threw in obviously a lot of the newness in there. But yeah, I want something like that with Ridley in Prime 4. It would just feel so weird to not have Ridley in it, have him pop up at this point. It's been so many years. And look, I'm fine for all the newness and us moving away from it. If that's what they decide to do, cool. But I'm going to be honest, where before I didn't feel like I wanted Ridley in the game, because I just wanted everything to be new. It's been years. Let's just do I want everything to be new. Now I'm like, nah, I'm okay with it, that little bit of nostalgia. I prefer that than it being like, I don't know, Mother Brain, Kraid again. And I know Kraid was supposed to be in Prime, but he wasn't. And now he was in, Dread. So it's like, I don't want to see Kraid again. I mean, granted, there could be a ton of Kraids, but Kraid is also a weird experience. I mean, again, he's an experiment or whatever. So yeah, there could be a bunch of them. Maybe you know what? Maybe Prime will be like, we're not gonna do Kraid the way you think. We're just gonna do the little Kraid from the original Kraid, and he's just gonna be a regular enemy, and there's not gonna be a big one. Like that'd be hilarious though. But nah, it's just cool, man. Like seeing these different boss fights that they added in Dread, and knowing that the series is known, like Metroid is known for a lot of things. We sit here and talk about, oh yeah, the platform, oh yeah, the shooting, oh yeah, the Metroidvania of it all, the exploration, the getting lost, but also these boss fights, man. Like that's what the series is heavily known for too. Super memorable, creative, and unique boss fights all the time. And I just don't want that to end. I want it to keep going, And again, having one little nostalgia fight is always nice. It's always nice. But yeah, man, like Dread was a special game, man. And I'm gonna talk more about Dread in my next Metroid video in comparisons to Prime 4. I've done that a bit now, but I'm gonna come at it from a different angle, basically. But yeah, let me know how y'all feel, man, about the idea of Ridley coming back, and like what kind of fight would you want it to be? Because let's be honest, they've done a lot, and that's the thing though. It's easy to say, oh yeah, they've already like milked it to death, but I don't think that is the case. And I genuinely love Ridley as a character. Like I think Ridley should always be around. I honestly think Ridley should be that one enemy Samus can never get rid of. Like I guess like that's her Bowser. You know what I'm saying? That's just what it is. That's her King Dedede. And I get that this is a more realistic series and all that. So it's like, oh nah, it should be realistic in its themes. It shouldn't be something where it's just like, oh, this character just keeps coming back. But I think there has to be a balance with video games. There's a point where the realism ends up hurting it. Like I said that always about stuff like Uncharted games, like playing. I was like, yeah, like, but if y'all making him older and and this same thing with Metal Gear, but Metal Gear ain't realistic. They're like clone this, clone that, Big Boss this, Solid Snake, yeah. So they can just keep going. But at a time, there was a time where I thought, oh yeah, it being realistic, like how is this gonna go on for 30 years, like a Mario or a Donkey Kong or a Zelda, where it's just like, oh, this is just another legend, another tale, It's easier. Oh, Final Fantasy, they're all the final. Which one is the final one? Yes, so now, I would look at the realistic series and think like, oh yeah, these things aren't gonna be here 20 years from now, but they are, So if they are gonna be, might as well keep. I mean, they're always gonna keep some nostalgia things in there, but keep some, like some little traditions, and not just in game design, but listen, man, I miss Ridley. I'm just gonna say that. Because I was playing this boss rush mode just to play, because I was like, well, let me play some of this. 'Cause I barely played it. I think I only played it like twice before this, so I said, let me play it again. And I was just like, yeah, man, Ridley is a amazing boss. He's an amazing moment, and when you see Ridley, it's something about Ridley more than all the main bad guys and everything. Ridley always just feels like the worst of the worst, and I think that's because Ridley was the one who led the attack, on Samus's homeworld, and killed her parents and everything. So there's always going to be this connection there. And I think that's what now with the fact that Metroid Prime 4 is a reality, the fact that I did get the next mainline entry in the Metroid series on Switch, I'm like, you know what? All that stuff I was saying before, like, yeah, all new and da da da. I don't feel like that now. Now I actually do want to see a Ridley fight. I want to see what Retro Studios would do now. And not only that, there's a lot of new developers at Retro Studios, and they probably want a shot at, designing a Ridley fight or just, designing the character model and everything. Like, look, if we had Meta Ridley, all kinds of different, give us something new. Give us Ridley Prime. You know what I mean? Something like that. I'll take it. Why not? This was one of the coolest boss fights too. Even though in this gameplay, if I'm not mistaken, I think I just beat him like a regular game. I don't do the actual, quick time event. Which the quick time event is awesome in this game because, you still feel like you got some control because you could just shoot regular, shoot missiles, and you see it in the actual quick time, in-game cinematic. It's cool though. Like you riding this guy, going all around. Like Prime did like incredible stuff too. And I'm gonna talk about it more. But yeah, I'm a leave this here. I want Ridley. We need some Ridley. It's been years. Give me what I want. You know what I mean? Like that's just the way I feel. So that's my thoughts on Ridley returning to Prime. I want it. I need it. And I want to know where y'all at, because I know many of us felt the same way I felt. Like it was like, oh yeah, Ridley is played out. They done it too much. Let it rest. I'm like, well, we got a long rest. A long rest. Almost 20 years. You know what I'm saying? Almost 20 years exactly. Like it's crazy. So I think it's time. Because, yeah. And I know y'all be like, yo, it hasn't been 20 years because Ridley was in Dread. I get it. I'm talking about in Prime. And it's like we're finally getting the Prime game. Why not? And hell, I'll even go as far as to say this. In the successor to Metroid Dread, I wouldn't mind Ridley popping up again. I'm serious. I wouldn't. I said at this point, listen, Ridley was in Smash Brothers, right? When we was all begging as Metroid fans, man, we need more representation. Listen, I want Ravenbeak in the next one. I want a space pirate, or one of those Chozo warrior. But if you got Ravenbeak, that already does the job. But yeah, like you had Ridley in there, like, so I want Ravenbeak in the next Smash, and I want Silex, since those are the two main bad guys of the new entries, like that'll be awesome. Yeah, I want Ridley, and I hope y'all do too. You know what I'm saying? And look, if you disagree, feel free to drop your comments on why you disagree. If you still feel like, yeah, it's overdone, really dead, leave him dead. That's it. It's been too many times where he came back. I get it. Listen. You listening to a guy who loves Mario games more than everything and anything in life. So it's like, I love, I'm not one of those who be like, yo, bring Wart back. Like, I want Wart to come back, right? And literally in the boss fight of Wart, like, yeah, Bowser comes and just kills him, and then you never see him again. Like, yo, and I want the same thing to happen with King K. Rool, Like, I want King K. Rool to come back and literally die in the opening of Donkey Kong. Like, I hate King K. Rool. I've always hated him because it was the most laziest, lamest boss. Because it's like, yo, Donkey Kong is in the same universe as Mario, and yet they made a King Koopa wannabe. Ugh. Like, so I never had fondness for King K. Rool. Since I first saw him when I was a kid, I thought, oh, this is just, they just basically took the Bowser model from the Super Show, the Koopa model, and made King Dedede. That's basically what he looked like. Go watch the Mario Super Show, and you're gonna be like, yo, I think those are all on Amazon Prime Video anyway, so you can watch Zelda, Mario. They all there, all those old cartoons. You don't got an excuse. But yeah, like if you look at it, like that's basically what Koopa looked like. He looked like goddamn King K. Rool in the old cartoons. Ridiculous, but yeah. Ridley, man, Ridley is just, it's just Metroid, man. It would feel so odd to me now. Like, even before I started recording this, just thinking about it, when I knew I was going to make this video, I was thinking, like, it already now feels weird. Now that I'm like, yeah, Ridley should come in. Now it would feel so odd if Ridley just doesn't pop up at all. Like, why wouldn't he? I mean, like I said, I get why he wouldn't, but I just hope he does. Super fun boss. This boss right here, you can't tell me this boss don't look like something straight out of Metroid Prime. And yeah, that's a bit of what I'm gonna talk about in my next Metroid video. But yeah, stay tuned for that. Like it's crazy how good Metroid is. Y'all love Metroid, man. And that's the thing. There's so much to look forward to. There's so much to be surprised about. Cause it's not only are you look, you looking forward to seeing Samus. And when I say seeing Samus, I mean seeing Samus in her different outfits. What are they gonna do? Is it gonna be fire, ice, and things like that, or new things, right? You're looking forward to that. But then you're also looking forward to the locate. Like, look at this location, beautiful. Light coming in through the damn ceiling right there. Like, you got beautiful locations to look forward to, right? Where are we going? And then obviously the puzzles in those locations you have to look forward to. Then you have her abilities, Samus' abilities to look forward to, right? Then you have, other than abilities, you have, like, it's just so much. So you got, I said, locations, her power-ups, the puzzles in those locations, the enemy designs, then the epic bosses. Like, it's just so much to look forward to with this game. It's just so much to look forward to. And I'm like, the most exciting thing is you know, what's the newness gonna be? That's really what I'm looking forward to seeing. Like, what will be the new things that they add to make the whole thing, you know, just stand out from the other Prime games, because you best believe they're gonna do it. I keep saying this, but that first trailer was designed like that, literally by design. It was designed to let you know what you like is here. We're not showing you nothing new though. Y'all gotta wait till 2025 for that, and I'm okay with that. You know, I would rather see it again this year, but I'm okay with that. You know, man, Metroid, yo. I'm so happy that I can play Metroid Dread. I'm so happy that I can look forward to Metroid Prime 4 Beyond. I'm so happy that I got a trailer that I could watch a million times. I'm so happy that I got a name that I could say a million times. Like, you don't understand, man. The wait, this was the worst wait for any video game in the history of video games. Like, I remember waiting for Ocarina of Time. And I remember seeing the screenshots in Nintendo Power, you know, and it was like the forest. It was like Link walking in the forest. And then the game would come out and look nothing like those screenshots. Because that was like 5 years before the game even came out, you know? And I remember the same thing with Final Fantasy when it was on 64, then they moved to PlayStation. Like, I know there's been long waits. And I know a lot of people right now feel like, what? Metroid? Dude, Grand Theft. I respect it. But respectfully, you're absolutely wrong, bro. You've been waiting for Grand Theft for what? A decade? That's nice. That's nice. Metroid Prime came out August. It's August right now. August 20. That's a 20. August 2007. And we on 2024, and that next game gonna come out 2025. Literally 2 years before it becomes 20 years old. And you could say, oh yeah, but you had Metroid games in between. You had Grand Theft Online. You had you know, giant story and all that. Did Grand Theft Auto 5 get story DLC? I know it got remade and remastered a bunch of times. That's another thing. We ain't even get remakes and remastered of all of the Prime games. We finally got one, and it was one. It wasn't even all of them. Granted, they re-released the games, you know, on Wii and Wii U, but they didn't do anything really new to them there. Well, on Wii U, they did give the motion controls to the first two games, which was amazing. So that was awesome. And every time I play Prime, well, not no more Prime 1, but every time I play Prime 1 and 2, it was the Wii Mote and Nunchuck versions, the Wii versions, because of that, the Prime Trilogy versions, because I love those controls. But now if I'm going to play Prime 1, I'm going to play the pretty one with also motion controls. But yeah, man, like, they took their sweet time, you know what I'm saying, to make the next Prime game. And even, you know, the next 2D entry. And I get it, we had good stuff in between it, you know, like the Tropical Freeze series and I wouldn't change it for the world because I love Donkey Kong Country Tropical Freeze. That's now my favorite 2D platformer of all time. So yeah, I wouldn't want to change that at all. But damn, I don't want to wait like that again. You know what I'm saying? I want Prime 3. Like, I hope they're already developing the next Prime game because I'm assuming Prime 3 is, I said Prime 3, Prime 4 is done. So I hope they're already developing Prime 5. Like, oh, no, it's not like, yeah, we going to, like, I hope they already had their vacation. I hope they celebrated. And it's like, yeah, the game is just sitting there, just waiting to release. Something like that. That's probably not the case because knowing them, they're probably making, still making the next console version a little bit prettier, run better, stuff like that. We can hope, we can dream. But I definitely want, you know, I want the wait to be shorter, less time. And I know these games take mad long to make. I understand that. And games even more now with graphical fidelity, and then it's like, oh yeah, but now you're getting it for the next console, so they gotta make the graphics for that thing, and it's like, I love these graphics right here. I truly think Dread is one of the best looking games on the hardware, and obviously Prime 4 looks like the best looking game on the actual hardware, and I'm good with that. These games are already 60 frames, but shit, make them 4K 120 frames on the next hardware. I'm just saying, like, the next century, not even these games, but the next century. And it's like, oh yeah, the visual jump isn't like a massive leap over these, and I wouldn't be upset because I think these are beautiful. I think they capture the Metroid vibes, feel, and everything beautifully. And I know that won't be the case. I know that the next 2D Metroid game is gonna look way better than Dread, but I'm just saying, like, I'm cool with them not going, oh, we gotta, spend 2 years just on making the game look, all the textures look better than what came before. It's like, I'm good with what came before, to the point where it's like, yeah, you could just, spruce it up a bit, and they'd be like, yeah, this is the next thing. I'm cool with it because the waits be too crazy, way too crazy for these games. And after this long wait for Prime 4, I really don't want to wait for Prime 5. And that's why a part of me is like, man, I hope they're already, making the next thing. Do it like Walking Dead do, man. Walking Dead, Daryl Dixon, for example. They filming season 3 of the show in Spain right now as we speak. Literally as you're hearing this, they're filming that. And season 2 doesn't come out till September 29th. So by the time season 2 ends, the last episode, they put a trailer at the end of it of the next season. Like, I like that. Not having to wait is a cool thing. Like, even if it's gonna be a wait, knowing that the thing is already being made is nice. Like, I don't want to sit here and speculate, oh, is the next Prime being made? I would love it if they just was like, literally, oh yeah, Prime Retro Studios is already hard at work on the next Prime game. That would make me happy. Like watching Citadel on Amazon, which I recommend, go check that out. But watching Citadel on Amazon, I was like, yo, this is a great show. The show ended and showed a trailer to Citadel, Diana. I was like, what? Another one? And that's coming out next year or later this year. I don't remember, but it's coming out soon. And then they put out a trailer for that, a new trailer for that this year, for Citadel Diana. And then they dropped another trailer of another show in the Citadel universe. And I'm like, oh, Amazon ain't playing. But I knew about this because I knew when they said that they were going to do this, they said that they were going to greenlight like 5 shows, all made by different coaches and things like that, but all in the same universe. So it'll be like MI6 here, CIA here, or whatever each respective country is. They're going to make a show of each of those different, CIA-like agencies. And I thought that's genius. And they making them quick. They doing it, let's just say, with balls. They're not waiting to see, oh, let's see if this one is a success. No, they believe in the thing that they making, and they say, all right, let's greenlight 1, 2, 3, and work with these. See what goes on, and then keep pushing. And it's cool because now you got Citadel, the original Citadel Diana, Citadel. I forget the name of the other show. It's a funny name, but anyway, but it looks good. And then you got Citadel season 2 of the mainline show. Like, yeah, man, it's just. You gotta be quick with it nowadays, and yeah, these games, they take forever. We gotta find ways to make them quicker, and I think reusing assets and things like that. Sometimes you gotta do what you gotta do. You gotta do what you gotta do. You can't get mad at that. There's nothing new in video games. You know what I'm saying? Like, Nobody's sitting there and like, yo, let's reinvent the wheel with every single game. Honestly, that, if any, that's mostly a Nintendo thing. To be like, okay, Mario can't play like he did in the last one, but I love Cappy, we know. And you love the Luma. We gonna give you something new. And I'm like, all right, I believe you. I trust y'all. You know what I'm saying? I trust y'all. But yeah, anyway, I'm done. I'm done with this. Because at this point, I ain't even talking about Ridley. I'm just talking about more Metroid. I want it. I need it. So that's going to do it for this one. Thanks for everybody who tunes in to NX Beyond, everyone who recently subscribed. I appreciate it. Until the next one, peace.